Plugging fucking asshole.
No, you're good. Keep going. She's going to be plugging some amazing people today, so we want you to know about them so you can hopefully go in and plug them as well.
I almost thought you were going to say I'm going to be plugging assholes, but that's okay.
But the people we're plugging today are not assholes.
No, they are freaking epic, and you need to check them out and also buy their shit. Not their actual shit, actually the things that they create.
We just can't. We'll get out of it. We'll get out of the gutter. It's fine. We're working our way up. It's all right.
That's what you think. So first off, we're going to start out with Shad Art. He is...
Wow, guys. This is difficult today. Okay.
This isn't even a Sunday.
Shad. S-H-A-D as in dog. D as in David.
And then art, A-R-T .biz. Yeah. He has traditional art for your face that you're going to absolutely love and put up everywhere. He takes 80s nostalgic characters and paints them. So you have to swing over to his website, shadart.biz. His Instagram is @shadpaints and his Twitter is @shadart. If you say... that you want any of his paintings that he currently has and gives him the code Geek Responsibly, you'll receive 10% off. It does not include commission, so just remember that, guys.
But yeah, if you're looking for something you want, and he's got something there, because we were looking on the site earlier today, and it has some really cool shit.
Star Wars, He-Man,
and it looks like he's got markers, pencils, and kind of like traditional painting as well. So if he's got those in stock, just tell him Geek Responsibly and get 10% off of that. So
yeah,
expand your collection.
Definitely cover your walls with some fucking cool ass art, not fan art, actual hard working art. Anybody else that you have?
No.
All right, no worries. I'm gonna say congrats to Kelly Thompson. Her Rogue and Gambit series is coming out July, so go ahead, pre-order those today. Add it to your pull list at your local comic shop, wherever you get your comics. Again, that's going to be the Rogue and Gambit series.
So let's talk about the elephant in the room today.
Elephant in the room?
Yeah.
Is that the royal wedding?
The royal wedding.
The royal wedding happened, guys!
Yeah.
And we're not talking about the one that actually happened a little bit ago.
Was it Harry and
Meghan? We don't even know that
one. It's Jon Snow.
Jon Snow and
you know
Ingrid.
Nothing, Jon Snow.
We obviously didn't know anything, Jon Snow, because we didn't even know you got married. Yeah. I saw it on Instagram, so congrats, you guys.
I'm not even kidding you. She was telling me about it. I'm like, that didn't fucking happen. And she showed me sure as shit it did. I think we knew that they were engaged, but they just kind of did it right, didn't tell anyone, and just got married.
I was a little upset because I wanted him to marry, obviously, Daenerys. Because I think they're hot together.
He's been dating this chick for like ever.
They've been on and off.
They've not been on and off.
Yeah, they have.
He's got a ginger. He's sticking with that. Sorry.
Well, now he is. He's married to her.
Yeah.
But, congrats. The only thing that I would say about this wedding, there's not a lot of pictures, so I think it was very
That's because you're a stalker and you're like, you want to know everything about it.
Pretty much.
You're like, where the fuck are the photos?
Yeah, I wanted to know everybody who went there. Peter Dinklage was there. He had a fucking baller-ass suit. He looked hot.
Yeah, looked good.
As well as Emilia Clarke, I think her name is, who plays Daenerys. She looked epic.
Who I think her name is, though I know everything about her, actually.
I was trying to make it sound like I don't stalk people, but
no, you do.
Bridget just blows it out there. But I must say, I think he could have had a better tux.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, granted, the picture we're seeing is him, like, running Doctor Who style, like, away. Because they're, like, running so they're getting pelted by the rice. So, like, I don't know if it's fitting properly or he's fucking hauling ass. Like,
there's a couple of other pictures that he's just standing, and it looks too big.
Yeah, but
like his coat's big, as well as like the style of what he put together.
But that's traditional for that side. Like if it's the long like coat with the tails, like that's and they do.
Which I totally get that.
Hats, like that's pretty traditional.
I was saying his trousers were looking a little like
the pinstripe ones, like because they had the stripe piece. Yeah, I mean, it's not something I haven't seen. I don't. He
still looks hot.
Yeah, I mean,
he's always hot.
His hair was a little wild, but I mean that's
he's
how
always
it is.
wild. Yes, and her dress looked fantastic. Very nice, elegant, fancy. It's too bad simple.
They got murdered on the show, and that never happened for them on the show, but it had happened in real life.
Yeah.
Didn't she Didn't she kill him?
Jon Snow? No.
She was going to shoot him, and then she didn't. And then
then she got shot. Yeah.
And then he got like gang killed by all those dudes.
Yeah, but he got brought back by the fucking weird crazy bitch.
Yeah, everyone's like, I get a chance, and they all shanked him like one at a time.
Yeah, pretty much. And he just was staring at them on his knees.
Like, why? Bro.
Yeah. Like, are we not bros?
Yeah, it would have been... It's hard because everyone wanted that to happen in the show, but then you get it in real life, which is kind of nice. Mm-hmm. You're like, oh my god, that's how they met. Like, that's kind of sweet. I don't really know too many other celebrities that are like that.
Yep, tons of them.
Really? Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, they all meet on set, but I mean, how many actually get married?
Once Upon a Time.
Oh, yeah, touche. Well, they're a cute couple.
Yes, and fucking also adorable. Gotham.
Fuck you. Who
Jim Gordon and his, the black-haired lady.
Really?
The one that's from... Yep, they're married.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Do you want me to continue? Because I stalk everyone.
Wow.
What we learned today is that the internet lies. But we don't.
And Jenna's a stalker. So well, since we're already talking about TV shows, we kind of wanted to talk about this for a while, and we wanted to talk about TV shows that we loved growing up. Might have inspired us during like real events, growing up.
Well, taught us everything that we know now. Because I think we learned a lot.
Yeah, what made us us, I'd say. Let's fucking start at the beginning. Let's talk about like what kind of shit what's the earliest kind of stuff that you were watching when you were sweet little babes?
Gummy bears, Care Bears.
Fucking gummy bears.
Gummy bears. Jumping here and there and everywhere.
My dad put an extra line in there saying something about them not wearing underwear. Because they didn't wear pants.
They didn't, but they bounced everywhere.
So I
with the gummy berry juice, pretty sure they were on steroids. So the other thing we need to talk about is how you watch these TV shows, and all of a sudden you watch them when you're older, and you're like, dude, that's really about drugs. Or sex.
I mean, not necessarily, but like there's some like, or you have those ones where you go back and you watch them and they just kind of like go right back to nostalgia for you. And you're like, fuck, I remember watching this like on Saturday mornings.
Saturday morning cartoons.
But like Gummy Bears, we watched all the time. But the only episode I remember is the I'm too slow. And then he's like cleaning the house and all this like purple bubbles are happening. And he's like, that's all I remember. Like, I know I watched multiple, you don't, you're looking at me like, what the fuck? Okay.
Is this the blue one?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
He's like, I'm too slow. He takes like a juice or something fucking like, I'm hitting like,
steroids.
Like, I'm hitting like heroin right now. But he takes, steroids.
She's actually not hitting.
I meant
tell people that
Bridget's... I was tapping my veins like I was looking for heroin. We need to do a TV. We need to do video. It's clearly not working.
Yeah, we obviously. You guys don't even know. We actually like use our hands quite often.
Yeah.
And we look at each other and like it's just not as fun because you guys aren't watching. So, but continue with your gummy bear steroids.
So he gets on the steroids. He starts cleaning the house. And I don't remember if they asked...
So he's actually on Adderall.
But I don't remember if they asked him to clean the house or he just decided to clean the house. And there wasn't like any of the bad guys in it. It was just him. And then he's going fast and he's moving super quick. And he's like excited about it. And then the house overflows with like purple bubbles.
Remember that one.
Purple cleaning bubbles.
He lived in a tree though. Yes. And it like bubbled up out.
Yes, that's all I remember. That's the only episode I remember. But Gummy Bears, DuckTales... Tailspin.
Eureka's Castle. Did you ever watch that?
Holy shit, Eureka's Castle.
Eureka's Castle. That fucking bat.
Yeah. Eureka's Castle. And then Lamb Chop Play Along was there.
Oh my god, no more Lamb Chop.
Lamb Chop.
That song does end.
Fraggle Rock.
I love Down in Fraggle Rock. Down in Fraggle Rock.
I liked Fraggle Rock a lot. And I remember a lot of the older shows would always have like kind of a moral at the end, which I don't see nowadays when I'm watching cartoons. I see that more of like in our time versus now where it's like, hey, they kind of maybe cover a couple different things during the show, but they don't go, now kids, remember not to fucking take candy
from a stranger. You know what's so funny that you say that is, I feel like they still have somewhat of morals in things. Like I was watching a TV show, oddly enough, I was watching it was like Pup Rescue. Do you know what I'm talking? I don't know. They're puppies.
Yes.
And they like rescue shit.
Pup Squad, Paw Patrol.
Yes. I don't know why you know that.
I've never seen the show, but I know it's Paw Patrol.
So you want to know where I watched this show?
Oh God.
In the gym.
What?
It was in the gym.
Okay.
Somebody was watching it in the gym or had the channel on, and so I'm sitting there lifting, and all of a sudden I was like, "Oh, what's gonna happen to that baby elephant? Paw Patrol is gonna get him." And they were sitting there. There was a little bit of things that were like nice, and you were like, "Oh wow, they're gonna help something out that's not like them. It's an elephant instead of puppy or whatever may have been happening."
What you're doing.
Yeah. So with that, I could see that there's a little bit, but back in the day when I was watching our type of cartoon, G.I. Joe had those things that they were like, G.I. Joe, hey guys, don't go in, but if you have a fire in your house, make sure. Did you ever see those? Get the fuck out! Did you ever see those?
Oh, the G.I. Joe ones?
That they dub over?
Yeah, cause it
Get
goes,
the fuck out!
What is the other one? Fucking pork chop sandwiches, that one.
Yes! Pork chop sandwiches! Get the fuck out! What are you doing here?
I haven't seen those in a long time.
Those make me laugh so much.
I feel like I saw those when I was in college.
So you guys need to go check out on YouTube G.I. Joe
pork chop sandwiches.
Sandwiches.
And then from there you'll probably spiral down because that's all I remember is the pork chop sandwiches. But no, G.I. Joe, He-Man, all that stuff had like that moral of the story, and you don't really see that often now. So
well, and they sit and look at the quote unquote screen.
That's true.
Like they're like, hey, kids, like they look at you.
You come out like the character's kind of out of character.
Yeah.
But like I'm watching DuckTales now because it's remade and it's actually very good. I'm very surprised. But I'm also watching Voltron on Netflix, which is amazing. If you haven't seen it.
No, I haven't.
It's actually really good. I do miss like the originals, like form, arms, and body, and I'll form the head. Like they took that part out. But it's definitely more geared towards adults. I know they remade Thundercats.
Yep.
But the one that
we talked about that because it was. But they're putting it towards
not the Steven Universe
version.
Oh,
really?
So there was another version that they So when I went to Comic-Con that we talked about last time, they were showing that they were remaking one. And that was like a couple years ago, but the problem is they put it at 9:00 at night on Cartoon Network. So
Adult Swim.
It was a horrible time. No one would watch it, but it was really good. And that just reminds me of like Dragon Ball Z and all that stuff too. It was like just fucking spiraled down. But yeah, I would remember like the old ones. You watch that kind of stuff. Moral of the story. Scruff McGruff, Chicago, Illinois, 60652. That kind of stuff. Like I remember the DARE program coming in through my school, and you'd get like the little shirt, and it's like don't do drugs, that kind of stuff. And I had to make videotapes when I was in school. We had to make videotapes of like my address is here, and my name is so and so, and if you find me, like put me like had to make like fucking videotapes of like if you got lost or stolen and shit. Did you not do that?
No.
Oh god, I must have lived in a bad neighborhood or something. So we had to make little tapes when we were really young. And then I think I'm trying to think. So then middle school was Dragon Ball Z. What did you watch in middle school, or did you kind of like fade out?
I didn't really.
I
think I watched a lot of cartoons.
MTV
up to
was
a
pretty
point.
Damn big then.
Then I switched over to like MTV. I switched to Boy Meets World.
Yeah.
I switched to Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
That is on Netflix, by the way.
I
watched Netflix.
Hulu.
No,
Hulu.
Amazon Prime.
Oh, I watched it on Hulu.
Oh,
all seasons.
Yeah, they have it all. I just saw it the other day on Amazon Prime. I was like, holy shit.
I got back up to like the part where we're
list.
going to. I'm at the second Halloween. So I'm on like second season Halloween episode.
I used to, so in middle school I remembered sneaking downstairs after dark and watching MTV's Undressed because I was watching that. which I shouldn't have been watching at that age.
Yep.
I also would try to stay up late and like hide behind the couch and watch like the Drew Carey show. Like
I actually loved the Drew Carey show. My parents watched it, and we got to watch it with them.
Apparently I wasn't allowed, because I just remember hiding behind the couch and trying to watch it, and they're like, it's past your bedtime, GTFO. So I remember that. Saturday morning cartoons, The Tick.
I loved The Tick.
Oh my god.
I also liked Recess.
Recess was good. The Tick, my favorite episode, again, the only thing I can remember, is when he gets Speak. It wasn't a dog, it was like a capybara or something. And he goes to like grab him and his hair comes off. He's like, Speak, he's unraveling like a cheap sweater. And it's like, I just remember like key moments. I don't
Did you watch? So I used to watch the Powerpuff Girls.
Fuck yeah, I did.
And also Johnny Bravo.
Yes. Johnny Bravo, Courage the Cowardly Dog.
I actually couldn't get into that one. He creeped me out. Like
it was
the art
scary.
Yeah. I was kind of creeped out by that. And then that gets me to the point where I started watching a lot of things on the internet. Like weird fucking shit. Like that like weird alien dude that scrapes the spoons. He's like, these are my
spoon finger. These are my salad fingers.
The salad fingers,
These are
yeah.
my salad fingers.
And he's like, rusty spoons.
Oh yeah. Rusty spoons.
So then you like
Trogdor was that time, I think.
Yep, Strong Bad.
Yeah, Strong
Yep.
Bad.
Trogdor was a man.
And then what else do we always say? Oh, the badger.
Mushroom. A badger.
Yeah, I think that was like middle school /
That's when you were in E-Bombs World. Do you remember that?
You know, I just was on their website the other day.
Is it on?
It's still on, but they do like a different thing, because it was like kind of a clickbait thing. It's like top 10, whatever the fuck it was. But I was surprised that it's still on. But that's E-Bombs and Newgrounds, because
I loved Newgrounds.
Pico, there was like a Pico game, and there was all these horrible games you could play that were really offensive and horrible. But we used to play them in the computer class and like switch screens when we were supposed to be doing something else.
Yep.
But yeah, I remember that. And then I'm trying to think of the t-shirt.
These are things that did not have morals. And
yeah.
This is just shit that we just fucking fell into the spiral of the internet.
But I think, well, we didn't, like, because when I was going to school, we were also learning to, remember when we had the typing computer classes? Like,
yeah.
And they fucking cover your hands, and like, this is fucking horrible. And you had to like type words, but they'd cover our hands, or you'd have to slide them under something. And,
interesting.
Like,
we didn't have to do that. No.
But there was the Oregon Trail.
I loved Oregon Trail.
Was it Oregon or Oregon?
Oregon? I don't know. I have a weird accent.
People say Oregon sometimes. The Oregon Trail. And I'm like, Oregon Trail.
I always think it's Oregon.
I feel like people say Oregon, and then it's weird.
Argon? Maybe they're talking about the
Oregon. No, they're not. People say like the Oregon Trail.
Well, nonetheless, we had Magic School Bus. Magic School Bus? Arthur was always good. But what I was going to say...
I have one for you when you're ready. I'm going to fucking drop this bomb on you when you're ready.
Okay, I'm not ready yet.
Okay, just go.
I need to tell you this story because I'm itching for this story.
Good. Yeah, you're good.
So, don't forget it.
I'm not. It's there.
Because you were talking about typing.
Yeah.
I actually had this computer teacher in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade.
Yeah.
And actually, I think 8th grade he was out. But 6th grade, we got these new computers. They were all teaching us how to type. And we had to do Mavis Bacon and a Mario one and all this stuff. Mm. He said I sucked so bad. He wrote a little thing on a piece of paper, made me walk it all the way home, which told my parents that they had to get a computer, and during the summer I had to learn how to type.
Oh, shame.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? So we got this computer. It was called what was it? It was like an E-machine. That's what the computer was called. I know. So if anybody's heard out there, the E-machine.
Is that the one that only has like floppy disks
had that. I don't think I had. No, because I could put a disc in there.
Oh.
It was just a really shitty model of a computer, but whatever. I sat there and played this basketball typing game, and it was okay. I was like A, like pass and dunk and whatever. That's when, routing back to our previous podcast, AIM started.
Oh.
I got back to school.
Yeah.
I typed 300 words per minute.
Jesus Christ.
By the way, that guy didn't have a teaching degree or something and got fired because he's dumb and annoying. So, fuck that guy. But 300 words per minute.
I don't remember the details of mine.
Now I'm at like 70.
Because now you're
I'm like at 76.
Chicken pack.
No, I'm pretty good at typing, but I mean 300 words per minute was because there was those short little like spurts that you did.
Oh yeah.
So it's not like I can write 300 words per minute nonstop. It was just these spurts that we'd have to do and like type the sentence. And then I was like, whoa, and he's like, whoa, that's really good. And I'm like, yeah.
Well,
mic drop.
To put us back onto TV shows that we grew up with and how they might have inspired us to like grow up. Fucking Bill Nye, the fucking science guy.
I loved Bill Nye.
Yes.
Bill. But have you watched him recently?
I was watching it recently, but I remember watching it every day, getting out of school, going home and watching it, but we also watched it in our science fucking classes.
Did you ever watch...
When the teacher rolls in the fucking TV, you're like, oh yeah, this is a good one. Like, because you're not learning... Well, you are learning shit, but you're like, oh no, it's either Bill Nye or it's something like a Net Geo.
Yeah.
Like, this is how volcanoes work, that kind of shit.
Oh man, I loved those.
That was... And you want to grow up so fast. You're like, fuck school, I don't want to be here. But man, like... Once you're out of it, you're like, shit, man, that was easy. Life was fucking easy.
You want to know what I thought was looking back now? Mm-hmm. I thought naps were
the shit.
No, I thought they were like you were getting in trouble. Go take a nap. No, I want to be up. I want to be doing other things. Now I'm like, fuck. Let me go back there. I'll take a nap again.
I want to go back to having summer vacation. Like you're like, oh, we're done with school, and you have like 3 fucking months where you didn't have to go anywhere. Like that thing was amazing. And like. Sometimes I forget how to fucking tie my shoes. By the time I come back, I'm like, I don't even remember how to do this. Like, I've had that moment.
Velcro.
Well, no, because, I mean, I was old enough.
Why didn't you have slip-ons?
Dude, I was old enough.
Like, I had those DC shoes that you just, like, slipped on.
The skaters?
Yeah.
I didn't get those till high school. Because I wasn't cool. I got fucking K-Swiss. I had the K-Swiss, and I would do the whole thing on the fucking commercial. Blah blah blah. K-Swiss. Like you would.
I got Vans once, and I was super excited because Vans were popular at that time.
I lived in a bodunk town, so it wasn't really popular for us. Like not too many people like skated or anything. Like hacky sack was a thing.
Hacky sack was a thing, yeah. Skaters though were coming up real hard when I was in high school. Man.
Like it's just
they had those skate parks coming up everywhere.
Yeah, we didn't have too much, but yeah, Bill Nye Science Guy because it was in school. I don't remember what I fucking watched on summer vacation, but I'd say for
I don't know if I really watched a lot during summer vacation. Then I was more outside.
Yeah, played outside, football and everything like that. I would say before video games, because with TV shows, the ones that I started feeling like really like as an adult kind of helped me where I am now. Would be the era of Buffy, for sure. And that was, I want to say, around high school time for me.
Was that because you could relate to the situations she was going through, or just because of the way that they taped Buffy and how their stories were, that it was just entertaining?
Well,
even watching it now, I love watching Buffy.
It's entertaining. I love the writing on it. I remember watching the movie first. And then saw the show came out. But when I even got into the show, I didn't get... I'll tell you right now. I didn't get into the show because there was a whole season. And I think... I'm a Spike fan. Always have been, always will be. And I think the first episode I saw was with him. And I was like, who the fuck is this guy? He's amazing. Because he's some like British dude with like platinum blonde hair. And then I found out he was like an asshole big bad. I was like, he's awesome and I want to be that dude. So that's kind of why I got into it, was because of him. But like watching him, like it was great. Like every week was something different, which I do sometimes miss.
TV shows doing that?
Yeah. Having that once a week, like you want to hear more, you want to watch more, versus when I have Buffy to binge it. Because I've seen so many episodes of Buffy that every time I want to rewatch it, I kind of get started, I'm ready to rewatch it, and I'm like, oh, I remember too much. And I'll wait, and I'm like, maybe next year, maybe a couple years down the road, I'll rewatch it. Because I want to rewatch it from start to finish. But if I start a couple episodes and I find myself quoting it, then I'm like, I'm not there yet. Like, I have to wait a little bit longer so I don't really remember key... Like, there's going to be some key stuff in the story that you'll never forget in some of your favorite places. But I'd like to kind of rewatch it and not remember everything until, like, hopefully pick up different details.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she was going through a lot of different stuff in the show, and there were certain times in my life where it mirrored that, which was really fucking creepy.
We were talking about one in particular.
Yeah, so one in particular was in high school, and at this point in the show, she was dating Spike. She had died, spoiler, she had died and came back to life, and she didn't feel whole. She didn't feel like herself, so she thought she came back wrong. So every time she would be sleeping with Spike or anything like that, she would feel something. So she kind of felt like she was more part of that world. So at this point, she's realizing that she's using him for that. And that was kind of mirroring what was going on in my life. Like, I had a boyfriend at the time. I don't think things were going well. It was high school. We had been dating for quite a while. And there was this other guy there that I kind of was using. We hung out all the time. That's who introduced me to comic books first.
Woohoo!
Yep, Green Lantern. So he was showing me comic books and stuff like that. We also were really close because him and I had more stuff in common. Not more stuff, but different stuff in common. So current boyfriend at the time was video game dude. This guy was comic books and WWE wrestling.
Oh my god, I love WWE.
And he was with a bunch of my, like, we were in a core group of friends together, so we hung out a lot.
Is this when you started wearing whiteout contacts?
Yeah.
So hot.
Yeah, whiteout contacts. And so we hung out, but then I realized that I was, like, we'd kissed and stuff like that. We kissed. That was it. Like, high school for me, like, that was it. So we kissed. I was prude, as we discovered in the last episode. But I fucking legit, word for word, broke up with him like she did with Spike. I'm like, I'm using you and it's killing me for doing that. You deserve better. I'm sorry. Like, it was word for word. I think I had just finished watching the episode, and like that night, it was eating me up, and I called him and I like broke up with him over the phone. Like, we can't keep doing this. I'm using you, blah, blah, blah. Like, it was bad, but like it gave me the strength to say that. Like, like, she can do it. I can fucking do it. And I'm bawling my eyes out like she was. Like, everything's going to be okay. Buffy did it. I can do it. I can be Buffy. So that, I feel like, mimics a couple moments in my life for that. Did you have anything like that? Like, with TV shows or TV shows that maybe, like, internally you felt were kind of like that? Because Boy Meets World has a lot of good moments.
Well, Boy Meets World, and I kind of told you, like, Mr. Feeney, he always was just, like, those kids always went to him, and he always had, like, something that he could tell them about life. Home Improvement, another one. Yeah. Mr. Wilson.
Fucking JTT.
Oh, he was so hot. I mean, come on. Honestly, all girls would watch it for that.
Or Devon Sawa.
Devon Sawa was not on the show.
No, but I remember Devon Sawa.
But Devon Sawa was hot. And he was in Casper.
Did you have a Teen Beat? Because my sister was obsessed, and she would tear the pages out.
Yep.
And her whole wall was covered in, like, Teen Beat.
There was also Boom or Bop or something stupid, and you'd get these magazines from Walgreens. And
Did you really? I didn't know where they came from.
They were from Walgreens. Oh, they were totally from Walgreens in the magazine section. But what was I going to just say? Because I was going to say that there was a TV show that I was like, well, so including with this podcast, like, I want to be able to talk about how we emotionally connect to characters.
Yeah. And
I've noticed that from, like, what was it called? Secret Life of American Teenager was one of them. But I totally watched Degrassi.
Did you really?
Oh.
I never watched it.
Degrassi was on TV. This is where I found it. And I was watching it, which it was actually the season that Drake was in.
Oh my god.
And there was all these people, and I'm like, oh, I want this person to date this person, and this, and they would always have something happen. And the cool thing with that is they had, like, African American people, they had situations with, I'm pretty sure that they had situations with, like, individuals being gay.
Yeah. Pretty sure they did.
Yeah, but there was that one.
They did in Buffy with Willow.
Yeah, they did that one with Drake getting shot.
Oh, I know.
And then he had to go into a fucking wheelchair throughout, and his basketball career was ended.
Oh my God.
You know, like, but it's like all this shit that you're watching, like, there was so much storyline, and you're like, oh man, you know. And then now today, I can appreciate other people, other ethnicities, other things like that. I think because of
you weren't so sheltered like that.
Yeah, I mean, there are things that I've been sheltered about, like, especially with drugs. Man, I worked at a strip club as a waitress. And this girl started talking to me. I'm like, how the fuck is her mouth moving like that? Like, what is going on? And she was like this and, like, grinding her teeth. And then I asked somebody, and they're like, dude, that's cocaine. And I was like, what? Like, holy fuck.
I don't feel like, I mean, I know we had Dare, but I never thought
I don't even know what they look like.
Yeah, I never, like, it was never
people
really
are like, oh, that's Chasing the Dragon. I'm like, what? Like, I love dragons.
Isn't that what Puff the Magic Dragon's about? I love that song.
Puff the Magic Dragon. I actually
my
cry.
My dad used to sing that to me all the time.
That is a really sad song. Like, have you ever not heard the lyrics?
I don't know. I usually bawl my eyes out when I hear it now anyway, but I'm wondering if it's, like, about drugs.
I heard actually it is about drugs, but Chasing the Dragon is like heroin, and it's got a spoon, and you put like fire underneath it, and you fucking like, I don't know. I saw it on some weird TV show or something that I was watching, and then I was like, what the fuck? How do I not know any of this shit? We're bad. So if you guys know anything about drugs, please leave comments and let us know so we actually can learn this shit and talk about it.
Well, the funny part about that...
Is it funny? Are drugs funny?
What's funny about drugs is we didn't have... Like, I never noticed it because, again, small town. But then after I left, I found out, like, a good majority of the kids got arrested for drug dealing.
Good lord.
So a lot of our kids were drug dealing, or they had... Like, we had dogs at our school because they were drug-sniffing dogs. I didn't really notice that, but we had cops and dogs there, and they'd lock all the school doors up on us so you couldn't leave, or if you left, you couldn't get back in.
Whoa.
And then after I left, they also they made it so you can't wear hoodies to school because you have to be able to you can't cover your face.
Interesting.
It was very fucking, and then again, I was like, oh, hum-de-dum, life's great. And then I was like, where the fuck did I grow up? Because I didn't live in the city, but I lived like 5 hours from New York City. So if people got arrested in New York, they could get sent to the prison that's over where we were living, or close to where we were living, which I didn't know there was a fucking huge ass prison like close by. We just know you don't go to this one part of the city. But they would come out from the prison, and instead of going back to the city, they would start making heroin and like coke houses there. So like when I go home to visit, my mom's like, oh yeah, I think there's a coke house down the way. Like they don't ever see anyone there, or they see a lot of people there, but they don't like see anyone like coming and going. So it's just fucking crazy. And it's like a sheltered life.
Jeez.
So I am very excited for the TV shows that like made me who I am, because I must have just been distracted.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, like let's watch this and this and this, and then you don't even like,
I was like a book nerd and watched stupid TV shows and did sports.
Yeah.
So like I didn't really
no sports. I was orchestra. Really?
Yeah. Oh well, see, but you still had like an activity that was keeping you from that shit.
I mean, that wasn't even after school. I only did orchestra during school hours. We didn't. I mean, I had concerts, but that was it. Like I didn't have anything after hours. I just went home and played on my hands and knees for way too long. Like I would run on my hands and knees.
We talked about this last time.
Yeah. Dude, it's.
That's
you know
amazing.
What? Fuck it.
Good
no,
for you.
I'm proud.
Good for you.
I am proud. I ran on my hands and knees probably well until middle school.
I still do.
And I beat some kid up because he made fun of me for it.
That is amazing.
Did you making fun of me
when you were beating him up, were you on top and just pounding him in the face while he was trying to cover?
No, all it took was he said something to me, and then he was like running down the hall, and I just kicked my leg out, and he fell and slid like down the tile. Ouch. I don't think I've ever like wailed on someone like that. My sisters, yes, but not like a straight. Well, no, there was Keach. There's a friend of ours that...
Jesus.
There's a friend... We talked about this. Like, he was my older sister's friend. I just remember him being called Keach. And he wanted to, like, fight. So we were, like, wrestling. And I kept winning. And my mom's watching this happen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's watching this. She's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why? And I'm, like, beating him up, whatever. And then he's like, what's street fight? Take you out in a street fight. Yeah, that kid.
Yep, I remember that.
Yeah, dude, I don't know, man.
I don't know. Maybe it's because we're the younger, quote-unquote, younger sibling. My sister had a bunch of her friends come over, and my sister is 5 years older than me. And
you're 5 years old? You're 5 years apart?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know how that feels, because mine are, like, too close. They're all fucking crowding.
Yeah, no, ours, like, literally, it's
so
my
you have
sister.
To share a room?
No.
No?
No. Oh, wait. Yes, when I was younger. I remember my sister and I did sleep in the same room.
Yeah.
But then real quick she was gone. And anytime that I would go somewhere, like she was already in like middle school. She was already in high school. She was already in college. So I never had to, like, people would know like, oh, you're Bitsy's or JB's sister or something like that. And that was it.
See, now I had my 2 older sisters. One was a couple of years older, 2 years older than Beck, and then Beck was like 11 months apart from me. So
wow.
Yeah, so when I got into high school, my oldest sister was a senior. So I was lucky enough that she was not an asshole, and she let me like sit with her and her friends.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and then
my sister was already gone.
Yeah, and then she fucking bailed, and then it was like, that's it.
Yeah.
And my middle sister, not so much. Like, we hung out a lot, but when it came to school, she was too cool for me.
Yeah.
too fucking cool for me.
Yeah, still is.
But no one like, yeah, but people like made, like, I think they gave them shit, but they didn't give me shit. Like, no one fucking messed with me in school. And I don't know why. I was super pleasant. But Hot Topic was a thing.
Super pleasant.
Super pleasant.
I may have looked like I was going to fucking kill someone.
Yeah, no. Hot Topic was just came into our town. It was a big fucking deal.
Oh my gosh.
I know. Because before, you had to drive 2 hours out of town to get to a place like that.
So I was all excited and I wanted to like fit in and I wanted to wear like all Abercrombie and Buckle clothing.
Oh no.
But I totally shopped at the thrift store. So I wore like little boys t-shirts. I even went with my friend to Walmart and other places that we would pick out boys' underwear and just wear the boys' underwear that had the hole, penis hole.
Yeah, penis hole.
Hey, look, I got a penis hole. I can't use it, but yay, Batman. It was all Batman underwear, and like so we would wear like comic book weird underwear.
I think I had like a Jackass t-shirt or a tank top, and my school made me cover the ass part of it off because I was wearing it for gym class. Like, you gotta take the ass off.
And I'm like, haha, I'm trying. That's why I'm in gym class.
and so many kids at that time were trying to be jackasses. So people were hurting themselves and being fucking stupid. I mean, I did some of that stuff too, but I mean, it is what
Oh my gosh, that reminds me. So going back to Jackass and WWE, I had the biggest crush on like everybody in WWE. Like, I loved The Rock, loved Stone Cold Steve Austin, like, everything.
Randy Orton.
Oh. I remember Randy Orton actually just came back. And then there was Dean Ambrose right now. Yeah. Oh, and we could just go off all day.
Hold on. Did you do what I did? So I had like a planner for school, and when you started, like, you would take pictures from the internet and you'd paste them on there.
Oh, yeah.
So I
did that with Kratos.
Yeah, so I had Randy Orton, like, in a towel on one, and then like, I had a picture of Spike on the other side, and then I would draw, like, little doodles.
That's when you had Trapper Keepers.
I wasn't rich enough to have a Trapper Keeper or anything Lisa Frank.
I had a Lisa Frank everything.
No, I think I had like a folder, but we never got to have all that stuff.
Oh, that's sad. And then the 10-cent folder that's red, black, and white.
The yellow one. I got the yellow one that's like paper and you can rip it. That's what I had. And we had to cover our books with paper bags.
I did that too, actually. And then you color over them. Yeah.
But gel pens were really big too, and I used to draw tattoos in study hall.
Yep.
And then people would pay me to draw tattoos on them.
There we go. Little tiny entrepreneur over here.
Yeah.
But what I did is, we totally do digress. With WWE, I had a group of friends. We would go out to these fields and start wrestling each other. Fake wrestling. Yep. We got tin pans and started
like
hitting
the chairs.
Yeah. So we hurt somebody by accident because we dropped them onto a trash can that was in the park.
Yeah, no, those are lighter, the ones they use in the show.
Didn't know that. We totally dropped the person on one, and that didn't work very well. Then we started hitting each other with these tin pans. Not the females, the guys were.
Yeah.
And the corners started unraveling and cut people in the faces, and then the cop came, and we were still taping it. And the guy kept like flashing it in the camera because he didn't want us taping his badge or whatever.
Yeah.
So I totally get that, but it was just so much fun. We would do so much stupid shit. And
God, remember those days, like just staying up
at night
in the outside, like because I lived by a forest, like the fucking woods.
Oh,
and I could walk up the woods.
Were you ever creeped out in the woods? Because we had some guys that would tell these stupid ghost stories and then drive us up to this barn and be like, watch right there. Do you see it?
Cornfields.
I rolled down.
It was cornfields. So woods were fine.
I lived right by a cornfield.
Yeah, I lived across from one.
Ew.
So
the kids of the corn.
No, for me it was signs. So like so my house was big, and then across the way was a cornfield, and then from my neighbor up, and then my best friend lived up the road at the time, and she was a mile away, and I would ride my bike up to her house. So the woods were never too scary. I didn't want to be there after dark because animals, but my one sister was afraid after Blair Witch came out.
Yep.
So she didn't want to fucking go anywhere near it. But like I would go hiking and just go fucking wander and it'd be fine. We had bears and shit up there. It was never an issue. But then I didn't realize, like, doing that as an adult or going back and revisiting, like, I was riding my bike completely by myself.
Yep.
A mile up to my friend's house. She always said she'd meet me back halfway. She never fucking did. Like, I always went all the way up. But then
nice friend.
And like, I remember, like, some weird guys would stop. I'm like, hey, I'm like, hi, no, I'm good. And I keep going. But I'm like, wow, I cannot believe that I wasn't murdered and, like, thrown into a ditch, like, E.T. style. Like, I don't know. I hated the movie. I'm sorry, I hated E.T. I hated it. All I can remember from that movie is him all gross and white like an old dog poop. He's like in the river, and that raccoon's like, hey, bro. I can't. That movie's gross. He's so scary looking. Sorry.
I like Drew Barrymore. We've got way off topic.
Yeah, we did.
Not really. We've been talking about...
It's nostalgia. That's what happens on the train. You just fucking go down the tracks.
Beep, beep, right?
Yeah, beep, beep, nostalgia train. Beep, fucking beep. No. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. See, I knew it'd come up. No, because I was... Yeah, man, there's so many TV shows, but also movies that like take me back. Goonies take me back every
Now
time.
and Then. I love Now and Then, and I wanted to be a little psychic. Like, remember how they held their hands and they were trying to raise that person up?
Oh, in the graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
See, I didn't mess with the graveyard. I didn't go anywhere.
So we did that a couple of times, and then I also had an experience with a Ouija board that was not that great.
We need to save that for a whole different podcast and go scariest stories that we've heard or like
have had experience with.
I've got some shit.
Yeah, we'll do this then.
Because otherwise we've totally lied about what we're going to talk about.
We didn't though. We talked about things that actually shaped us as we were growing up. But I have so many stories about Ouija shit and like things that have happened.
That's why I don't fucking touch that shit.
No,
but if we want to talk scary, we can talk. What the fuck is it called? Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yes. So back to the TV series that we Goosebumps. I loved Goosebumps. Did you not watch it?
I read the books. I liked the Choose Your Adventure ones.
I was just gonna say Choose Your Adventure books were actually my favorite.
I really liked
Goosebumps
those.
actually was the TV series, and they had this one with Slappy. Did you ever read Slappy's? He is this little ventriloquist doll.
I have, you know what? You fucking say that, and the cover is burning.
And he's just sitting there, and he just stares.
Is it a green book or is it like purple?
I thought it was like blue.
It's like and then it's just the puppet.
Yep.
I remember the cover.
They did a TV show of that in the Goosebumps series, and I was like freaking out because you could hear him going like, and he would run, and you could hear his feet. I got goosebumps. Scary things.
That reminds me because I was looking on Amazon and they had like new fucking movies, and the Leprechaun is on there, and that movie terrifies me.
I never watched it. Jennifer Aniston is, I think, in it.
Really? I think I watched something and it was like in a bush and someone stuck their hand in. I was
like,
no! No, I don't like scary movies at all.
Yeah.
Are You Afraid of the Dark? I can't get past the fucking intro.
Yeah. Are You Afraid of the Dark?
And the fucking swing. I can't. I hate that.
I did watch it a couple times and they still freaked me out. All that was amazing.
Tales from the Crypt, I actually got through a couple episodes.
I could watch it, I just don't remember it right now.
Let me fucking blow your mind right now.
Okay.
Ready?
We're ready.
So there was a few I remember. One was Thinner. The guy keeps getting thinner and thinner and he loses all his weight and he like dies because he gets cursed by a gypsy. So that one I remember.
Ugh.
There was one guy who was like making a piece of art out of a tree, and it was like a woman, and I don't remember if she killed him or not, but there was that. There was the fucking one where it's like this little troll and it's sitting on this kid's fucking chest and stealing his breath, and the cat is like his little guardian. The cat's like, fuck you, and it's like snacking that thing away, but it like sits on your when you're sleeping. You know what I'm fucking talking about because everyone's fucking seen this. And the kid's sleeping and it's like stealing his breath, and then the end the cat like knocks that shit in a fan. It goes everywhere. Everyone's like fucking seen that. You know you've heard this before. I've seen it.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. Ew.
Yeah, that one, and then my sister taped one that I remembered, and it was a 2-part. So it had a animated short, and this guy had like an Audrey, kind of like a Venus flytrap, but it was kind of like an Audrey thing. Like a little shop of horrors, yeah. So the guys are trying to beat him up, and this kid gets like hit in the nuts, and all I remember is him going, "Catch him! I want his ass!" And I'm just like laughing my ass off. And we recorded that, so we would keep playing it back and laughing.
Considering we didn't have the internet, and
because that was my.
I remember when you had to like literally like record your songs, and then you'd accidentally record over the song. And, oh my god, I hate that.
So that was our meme, but throughout that story, like that, it would come back to it, and I think towards the end, like the Venus flytrap was eating the kids, but in between that was this thing called the raft, I think. This is also why I don't like fucking water you can't see. So these teenagers are swimming out on a lake, and there's a a wooden raft that you can sit on to like sunbathe out there.
Yeah.
Whatever they fucking did, the simplest things they used. It looks like a pool cover, an old pool cover, a black pool cover, and it like floats over to the kids, right? I'm like, what the fuck is that? Well, it's like a tar kind of thing, and all I can remember, I think it like eats you alive, but I remember one of the guys is like laying on the wood and it like comes up through and he's like, ah, and it's like sticking on his face and it's like taking or melting some of his skin off. The shit I fucking remember. Also, I hate scary stuff, but
do you remember Erie, Indiana? You never watched Erie, Indiana?
That sounds so familiar.
It's a little kid and he's got like a bow cut or like his mom probably put like a bowl
on
over his head and like cut it.
It sounds familiar.
But there was one that was so creepy that he had like a mechanical guy that was like almost in like it almost looked like one of those bank tellers. And the guy would talk and he would be like this and like his head would be moving and then his like bow tie would like flicker. Oh,
I got to look it up.
So bad.
The Crypt Keeper on Tales of the Crypt always freaked me out.
Yeah, well he still does.
Well, and then on the flip side of that, like I remember watching that, but I also remember watching Wishbone.
I love Wishbone.
So yeah, the Wishbone stuff was really fun.
Actually, I learned a lot from that and Reading Rainbow.
Reading Rainbow was the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Reading Rainbow was
and
good.
he still does great. Like that guy's still reading to people that are unable to have books and stuff.
Jodie LaForge from Star Trek?
Yes.
Okay.
LeVar Burton? LeVar or Lamar?
I don't know.
Yes, he is.
Jodie LaForge.
Yes, that is correct. That is his real name.
Jodie LaForge. That's all I remember. Like he has a visor, and then he got mechanical eyeballs. Like that's what I remember.
So
I didn't watch any Star Trek or any of that growing up, but I cannot believe I missed it. Like it's actually very good TV.
Yeah, that's what I've always wanted to go back. But there's so much stuff now that I just like it's hard to like balance everything.
Yeah.
But going back to books, then.
Yeah.
We were talking about how to get or acquire and what type of comic books.
Oh yeah, because you were more booky, not so much TV growing up.
Yes.
So this is like her nostalgia.
Yes. Well, I still watch TV.
Yeah.
I have a lot of things that I watch, but
when you're pulling back, like when you're growing up, are you pulling a memory more from like reading a book and that experience, or are you pulling from maybe watching a TV? What would you say is like your go-to? What encompasses like childhood to you? Because mine goes to video games, playing Final Fantasy VIII with my windows open on a summer day, and like that will take me back instantly. So what's like your instant you go back?
It was mostly outside.
Yeah.
But I lived in... Well, the other thing, too, is I played video games because I got the PS2, and then I played Harry Potter.
But like...
Which was because I loved Harry Potter books.
But like, so like to kind of like run off of your outside stuff, so like for me, like when it gets rainy and cloudy here, it reminds me of the Goonies, which then reminds me of when I was younger, and I don't know when we're going to fucking plan this, but me and you...
We're going to Oregon?
No. Well, yes.
We're going to Oregon to go to the Goonies place.
We're going to go to One Eye Willie's. We're going to fucking find it. No, I want to... We should. We will. But I want to have a day where we fucking go on a bike adventure. Like, I want to fucking ride down fucking somewhere on a bike adventure.
Yes.
With fucking backpack and goddamn snacks and just, like, fucking go. And
Can I please be the gadget kid? Because he was my favorite. His gadgets sucked so bad, but I was just like, look at that kid go.
You can be the gadget kid.
I feel like I was going to be... I thought I was going to be like the sloth.
No, I mean, like, I used to ride my bike a lot. When's the last time, like, I want a fucking bike gang? I want an adult bike gang that dresses up like fucking Goonies and just fucking, like, goes to downtown Gilbert and fucking hits the bars up or something. That'd be so much... Oh my god, Halloween outfits.
We're totally doing this.
Fucking done.
Can we also do
like Stranger Things?
I was just gonna say, let's do Stranger Things. I'm totally gonna...
But that when I watch that reminds me when I was growing up.
Yeah.
It totally does.
Well, it definitely reminded me of Goonies. When I saw it, like the trailer, I was like, this is like Goonies meets Poltergeist.
Yeah.
Does it not?
I never watched the movie Poltergeist. Freaks me the fuck
totally
out.
don't. I was terrified and like freaked out and like it's... I didn't watch the first one. Yeah. I watched the newly made one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a rookie mistake.
Yeah. Well, because I thought it would be okay.
I feel like I could go back and watch maybe the ones that are going to be a little bit more campy.
No, because there's a creepy old midget lady.
Marianne! See, but then you say that, and then all I think is scary movie. Take my strong hand!
And dash in here! And out.
When he's putting his fingers in it, like, ah.
love scary movies.
It's like
Like it was
stuff.
and that's the stuff that I learned a lot of my shit from. Like
Yeah.
I'm weird and twisted because of Scary Movie.
Yeah.
Like when she was about to have sex with that ghost, and he like, oh, you don't see him, and he like pulls down her pants, and all of a sudden he's like, "Arr," and he like, she's the no, that's the first one. I'm thinking of the second or third one where they're in the haunted hotel.
I remember how many there were.
There's like 4.
Oh Jesus!
So he like pulls down her pants, and it says like Wednesday, and he looks, and it's like Friday, and he's like, huh? And he's like banging her up on the ceiling.
Old panties. Gross.
I kind of want to go watch that now. But I remember the bush too, because he like, didn't he like shave it down?
Yeah, he took like a thing and he like shaved it down.
I had no idea what that all was. Like,
I feel like, I mean, I was.
If I watched it now, I'd be like, that's what they meant.
Yeah, I was too young, I think, when I actually saw it.
Carmen Electra was in the first one.
Yeah,
and she got her fucking boobie popped out.
Oh yeah. I
I thought that really could happen. The other thing that I thought was a huge issue.
To, like, do a day to like
watch old movies.
Shit,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. My favorite was the one with the guy with the old little hand. But the reason why I liked that is because I watched finally for the first time the haunted movie. It's called The Haunting, that they played that movie off of, and so a lot of it reminded me of the actual movie because they kind of went back and forth with what the actual movie was. Which, that was like one of my first scary movies that I watched. That was terrifying, but I think all scary movies are terrifying. But the other thing that I thought was a huge issue growing up, like I thought that I would have to worry about, was fucking quicksand.
Oh.
Right? Everything had
everywhere.
Quicksand. Everybody was dying from quicksand. Atreyu. Oh my god, I fucking bawled my eyes out. And
I sobbed. Full body fucking sob.
I was
full body,
so
like, ugly cry.
Mad because it was never ending story and it totally ends. And I was like, why does it end? It says it's the never ending story. I literally thought that people were in that movie. Like,
what did he name her? Moonstar. Was it Moonstar?
I don't remember.
Moonstar. Does he have a name her? There's a sequel.
I don't even remember watching it.
He's like a dog dragon, but he looked like he had eggs on him. But I think it was scales. But
I think it was scales.
But you saw some titties in that.
Did you really?
The Sphinxes had some titties. Yeah. They're like, you're not supposed to look or something.
I need to watch again.
I don't know if you're supposed to look at their tits, but there's something like, I just remember tits. And Gomork looks like my cat. Like, Cringer looks like fucking Gomork. Like,
that is
the nothing,
the face.
he looks like that. Like, I'll catch her at night, and it's just like a mean, like, dark face. I'm like, fuck, man, you look scary as shit. She would sit on my counter and like look over. I'm like, God, fucking lay off, Gomork. Which is crazy. We need to watch these movies again. It was fucking bomb. I
like remember clips.
Remember the Page Master?
Oh, I love the Page Master.
Yeah, that one was a good one. I haven't seen that in years because we also used to rent movies with my grandma, and we rented like the old Hobbit and stuff like that, and the fucking Last Unicorn. What is that one with Tom Cruise? And he's got like, there's that fucking unicorn. That guy is like the devil, and he's got giant horns. What the fuck's that called? Oh my god, guys, what is that called?
I don't know.
He's like, oh my god, Tom Cruise is in it. This guy he's a giant demon. I think it's not Tim Allen. What's his name? The guy who played. Fuck.
Is it Howie Mandel?
No, it's the guy who's.
Because I'm thinking
Rocky
like
Horror.
Monsters Under My Bed.
So
Little Monsters. Yes.
He was blue with Fred Savage.
Yes.
Oh, that movie was awesome. No, I think it's Tim Curry, and he's a devil, and he's got massive fucking.
Tim
horns.
Curry is the one that has like the
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yes.
So
he was also in Clue, wasn't he?
I don't know. I think he had big horns, and there was something about like a last unicorn, and fucking Tom Cruise was in it.
What?
I don't fucking remember.
We're gonna have to look this up.
Legend? Damn it, we're gonna have to look it up. But fucking Little Monsters.
Yeah, I love Little Monsters too.
Oh my god, Little Monsters was so good. Scared the shit out of me. Leprechaun, I didn't like. Pumpkinhead was funny because it's kind of campy and weird. What else? I feel like there's. Okay, this is good. I don't know if you fucking saw this, and if you saw this, it's gonna be amazing. Fred Savage, right? Kind of Princess Bride style. He's like in his bedroom, but he has to do a report on dinosaurs. And I don't know if anyone else has fucking seen this movie, and I have to get a copy of it. But he's doing a report on dinosaurs. And at some point, there's little stories, and they're either live action, and it's like dinosaurs, and they talk about them like, they talk about them in the like extinction. There's one where it's like drawn on a chalkboard, and it's really cool, and they have fucking claymation. And at this point with the claymation, there's like a dinosaur fucking... There's a band.
Yes, I think I have seen
this. And they're
this.
eating shit. Like, they're eating, like, leaves and stuff. But it looks fucking rad, and I fucking loved it. And then the beginning of the movie was a Pizza Hut commercial. And it's like a big puffy Pizza Hut commercial, because the pizza's always fucking big. And it's Fred Savage eating fucking pizza. Like, and it just...
I think I do remember this.
We're gonna have to fucking YouTube it, because
That-
I loved that.
My mom also took us to the
He's
library.
like, what about dinosaurs? And it would like echo off. That shit was my jam.
My mom would get us this stupid, like I have this thing for fairy tale.
I can't, it's gonna be stuck. It's gonna drive me
We're
nuts.
gonna find it. We're gonna definitely find it. But I am super in love with anything that's fairy tales or fairyland or anything that's like that, like spin-offs.
Yeah.
So we'd always watch this like Mother Hen's or Mother Goose's nursery rhyme.
Is that the TV show where they had? Is it a TV show number one? Right.
One, it was a movie.
Did you
but
see that?
I might have watched the TV shows.
There's like a I remember Mother Goose. All I can remember from the intro is this thing freaked me out. It was this thing in the water, and its hair is like this, and it like pops out. And I'm like, fuck it, and I didn't even want anything to do with it.
I don't think I saw that.
I swear to God, we're thinking the same thing, but it terrified me, and you probably fucking loved
I probably
it.
loved it. I ate that shit up. I also watched an Alice in Wonderland live action on Disney. That was awesome. Like, I absolutely loved it. It was an Alice in Wonderland TV show. And then there was one, I watched every single Alice in Wonderland, whatever you could possibly think of. But there was this, and I'm going to totally butcher this because I have no idea what it is. And I've tried looking.
Yeah.
So it's this movie my mom would always rent for us, and it was called like the Wibble, Whizzle, Wobble, Wizzy, Woo, or something like that. It was like the one-eyed,
Flying Purple People Eater?
No, not that.
Aw, damn it.
I was just about to say that, but I do love that one. One-eyed, one-horned,
There's a
flying
live
purple.
action, right?
Yeah, that one's real.
Okay.
But there's an actual movie that was called like the Wobble, Whizzle, Wobby, Woo, or something stupid like that. And I've tried looking it up, but because I don't really remember what it was.
I've never heard of that.
My mom would have to get it every single time we went to the library, and it was about this dude, and he was just like always like there was like this monster world that he would go into.
Huh.
It was the coolest thing ever. I felt like there was always monsters, but they were always friendly, like little monsters.
Yeah, I wish I knew what the fuck you're talking about, because I don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
I remember the People Eater vaguely, because it kind of reminded me of Encino Man back in the day.
I love Encino Man.
We need a fucking Polly Shore.
Polly Shore.
What the whistle? The whistle.
I almost said Snoochie Boochies, but that's fucking Jay. Oh my gosh, he was so funny.
Becky, that Becky.
Yeah.
Farm or the barn or something like that.
But he would. Oh my god, Pauly Shore was the coolest. I don't know what happened to him. Lots of drugs, I think. But he was in that
Biodome.
one. Yes, Biodome.
That's us.
That seriously is us. Like when he's farting, and he's like, you had some Cheetos earlier, or whatever.
I feel like that's. Isn't there a Biodome here?
There is. Have you ever been?
No, we need to go.
we like
in character. We need to go. Don't shower.
I get to be the guy with the
dreads.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can be what? It's a Baldwin.
It's a Baldwin.
You can do that, but we have to not shower and then like rub down with patchouli before we go. Like rub it down. Wow, we fucking digressed so bad. But no, we still talk movies, so that's fine. Fuck man, we have so many. We need to like find them and like just rent them.
Yeah.
It's been forever.
Yeah.
But we have to get that fucking dinosaur movie. Oh my god.
We'll look it up. Well, it's Fred Savage and it's a dinosaur movie.
It's a dinosaur. We'll probably find it. Because he was the little kid at the time. Because he was like in everything. But I liked that more than Land Before Time. Which also sob story.
I actually loved... Well, Land Before Time was
sad.
Really, really sad.
Yeah. But Ducky was pretty cool. I like Ducky.
Ducky was cool. I liked
little
Stegosaurus.
Needed to shut the fuck up. Like, she was mean.
Yeah, Sarah.
Is it Sarah?
Yeah, she's a bitch. Sarah is cunty. That's our new word.
Yes.
Because it's classy. Like, you still have a little bit of room to grow.
The other one's, like, it's too hard and just, like, it's just so
it ends with a
aggressive.
very aggressive ending of a T.
But if you do a why, like that was kind of cunty, then you're like, oh, it's kind of cute still. Instead of like, yeah, no, I don't even like saying the other way.
Yeah,
I don't
no,
even,
I
like,
won't.
I'm uncomfortable saying that, but if you're like cunty, like, oh, cunty, it's fine. Yeah, Land Before Time.
What's that other one though that was like the Land of the Lost? Did you ever watch that?
No.
Okay, so remind me. I'm gonna write that down.
Now we're on dinosaurs. I'm all about this right now.
I'm gonna show you
Dinosaurs.
Land of the Lost because Land of the Lost has the best trailer and like special effects. I'm totally joking because this is the T-Rex. He's like.
I wish you guys could see what she's doing. Oh my god.
I know. I'm gonna show you
Fred Savage Dinosaurs, Land of the Lost. Oh my god. So I think we need to do a couple nights where it's like some of our favorites, and then I think we do need to find like campy, scary ones that we could watch together.
We can do a review on it.
If we at least watch them together, I feel like it'd be a little bit okay. But I hate The Ring.
I will not watch The Ring.
I hate Signs. I hate Fire in the Sky.
We've already watched all of these outside of our friendship, so we don't have to watch it inside our friendship.
Because that's, I mean,
now,
we might cuddle.
There are.
Good,
that's totally fine. Have you ever heard of the Babadook?
Ugh.
That one was dumb.
Is that the one with? There's something about like that or Mothman Prophecies, and I was trying to explain to a friend what the movie was, and I was driving at the time, and it's about driving, and I had to pull over because I had a panic attack.
Babadook is not about driving, so it's probably about Mothman. But the other one that I think would be really funny to watch is there's this one that I really like movies that start out and you don't know what's going on, and then all of a sudden at the end you're like everything unravels and you're like, holy fuck,
Lady in the Water.
I have not seen that.
That one's a good one. You would probably really like Lady in the Water. It has some scary moments, but it unwinds at the end. Lady in the Water was good.
There was one from
was the
like
Shyamalan.
So that's what I was going to say. M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah.
He had one that was going to
Village?
the grandparents' house. No, to the grandparents' house. It was like called the I can't remember what it was called because now you said the Village and now all I can think of is the village.
Sorry.
But no, so these two kids are going to go visit their grandparents and the mom can't take them, so she just got recently divorced and she's all upset, so she's going to go on this cruise.
Okay.
And then the kids are going to the grandparents' house. Well, they go through a train, get to the grandparents, and they've never like met the grandparents or something like that because the grandparents have been mad at the mom for so long for doing whatever she did, and so then so the whole thing happens, and I'm fucking watching it, and the grandparents are fucking tweaking out. Like at night, so they go, don't leave your room after 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, whatever it is. Huh. So all of a sudden they hear this like scraping.
I'm already uncomfortable.
I know, they hear this scraping, so they open the fucking door, right? And it's their grandma, and she's like running back and forth and like scraping against the wall.
I don't like fast moving.
I know, but now even worse.
Fast shaking.
So then she like tries to like come at them, so they have to like close the door.
No.
So then they're like, oh, what's wrong with grandma? Like the next day, because she's fine the next day.
No.
And then the grandpa...
I GTFO.
Yeah, well, they can't. They're kids.
Yeah, they fucking can.
So get this.
Bye.
There's some even horrible parts.
Oh,
because then you're like, what the fuck is going on? The grandma and the grandpa are like just weird, and they say don't do anything after 8 o'clock out of the room. Well, they're outside, and this is not at night. This is during the day.
Oh, gross.
Playing tag. Why would you fucking do this, kids? I don't know why.
The kids were playing
Kids are playing tag underneath, like out in the country homes where the houses are...
Nope.
Right?
Nope.
So even better...
There's shit under there, guys. Like raccoons and shit. Awesome.
Not even that. So they start going and you can hear somebody like scraping and like coming towards them. She probably freaks out already.
She can't even through the story. She's freaking out.
I'm freaking out because I can see it in my head and I was like...
I still have to drive home later.
I'll drive home with you.
Fuck.
How am I getting home?
See, and today was supposed to be like, oh my god, what inspired me? And we're like, oh, let's go down this fucking dark hole of like the things that freak us out.
Hold on. So
okay, we're getting through this.
We gotta get through this.
Yeah.
So she's like running, like she's trying to hide, and she thinks she's hiding from her brother. And then all of a sudden you see this thing with like hair in front of it. It's like coming at her.
No, I don't like how you're moving right now.
Turns out it's the grandma.
No!
And she's all like, whoa! I thought we were playing, like, and I'm like, whoa.
I'd leave. I'm done.
So they get out of there, and then the grandma, like, walks up the stairs or whatever, like, not talking to them, and, like, looks all weird, and she, like, walks upstairs, and like her pants or like her skirt is like moved and you can see her butt. Like,
what the fuck?
Right?
Okay, that got weird.
And then the grandpa is like taking, like, he has diapers and he's like taking him off in the barn and like leaving him in the barn. Hold on, it gets even worse. You're like, what the fuck is going on with this TV, like this movie?
Oh my god.
Turns out, like, cause then like they were trying to like get out or whatever, and like even the grandma was like, oh, go into the oven and clean it, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, and she did. She closed it on the girl. She didn't do anything.
Yeah.
She like let her out, but I was just like, why would you even get into the oven? Like, did you not watch Hansel and Gretel? You fucking idiot.
You really think that you need to get in there to clean it?
To clean
like,
it, right?
Fine.
Well, it was a big one. It was big. But anywho,
in the defense of the oven, it was big.
By the way, so then we get to the end of the movie, and they're like fucking going crazy, and like the kids have been talking to the mom, going like, "Hey, Grandma and Grandpa have been really weird," and like all of a sudden, like the mom sees something or says something, and she's like, "Wait a minute, what?" And like doesn't think that it's like the grandparents. She's like, "You need to get out of there," blah blah blah. So the kids are trying to leave. And the girl gets down.
Anything about this? I don't want to see this at all.
Yeah, the girl gets down in the basement, and there's 2 bodies, and it was her grandma and grandpa.
Fuck.
So these are not their grandparents. Like, what the fuck? They were like people from the psych ward, like further down the way. And I was like, good job, M. Night Shyamalan. That's my creepy story.
Oh my god!
And now you didn't even have to see it. I had to see it.
So on that note, I think we should end it because now I'm fucking terrified. And we're clearly gonna need to do a podcast. It's just all about
scary movies.
But we need to do it like, because it's dark right now. Right where we're talking and it's dark. And I'm sitting here going,
I feel like something's gonna pop up in the window.
I have to fucking drive home. And I'm like, we gotta do a whole thing, but do it in the daytime so I can recover. Yeah. Because I'm freaked out right now.
So I had to watch a ton of scary movies.
Why?
Because
man.
Well, so somebody that I was dating loved scary movies.
Yeah.
And
that's
liked,
hard, man.
And he liked how everything was portrayed, and we would talk about it. So I enjoyed the conversations we had after it. And there are some scary movies that I absolutely loved because of the camera work, the ideas that went into it. What's that one? There's 3 parts.
I use the scary movie. Like if I get too freaked out, I will be like fucking technical. I'm like, oh, do you see this, and this? Because it takes me out of the movie, so I don't freak out. Yeah. Storm of the Century.
Evil Dead.
Fucking love Evil Dead, man.
Really?
Love Evil Dead.
Wait, the old one or the new one?
All of them.
The new one was disgusting, and she like ate or like.
Oh no, I didn't see the new one.
Yeah.
I like the old school one.
I'm gonna show you the trailer.
Army of Darkness is one of my favorite movies.
But see, those are more campy, right?
That's why I love them. Yeah.
So Evil Dead now, the new Evil Dead, don't watch.
Okay.
She literally like licks a knife and cuts her tongue in half.
See, it's
they go too gory.
Yeah, too much. It's just like over the top.
Yeah.
Cabin in the Woods, I liked.
Cabin in the Woods scared the fuck out of me.
It was scary, but then when it got to like the end, I was like, oh shit. So I was okay with Cabin in the Woods.
It was good up until the end, because then I was like, this is dumb, and there's all these monsters now coming out. I was like, whatever, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna have to make a list.
I can't think of the one that I absolutely love. It's the third one. It's the third one. So it's the old lady can go back in. I can't think of it. I think it starts with a P. There's like this old lady, and she can go into this like area that's like where people are dead. So she's like a psychic, and she can kind of like go in that time. There's like this little
purgatory?
boy. Kind of. Oh my gosh. But the third one, it was just fantastic and really well done. And I can't think of it. I'll when we do our podcast, we'll put them all together.
Yeah, we'll definitely
and we'll say our favorites and our worst.
Ugh.
And like what ones we think are well done and not.
My worst will definitely be something alien related.
I hate alien related stuff.
Alien related is really difficult, and
Ghosts.
No, you know what fucking scares me sometimes? The fucking Ghost Hunters TV show.
Yeah, because I think it's real. I'm sorry, you don't mess with that stuff.
You don't mess with it. And then it got really fucking real because I was like watching that, and then they had people on there talking about they called them like gray beings because it was combining spirit with alien. And I'm like, fuck my life.
Yep.
Slit my wrists, I'm done.
Nope.
Like,
Yep.
it was crazy.
That's like the ultimate, because you can't stop any of that.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Aliens that are invisible.
This was a horrible day.
Why did we do this?
We were supposed to talk about how we're so empowered by wonderful fancy shows. I'm like, Buffy. But even Buffy is like vampires and whatnot.
Yeah.
Which I like. I'm okay with that.
I feel like there was also like storylines behind it.
There was some good stuff. But they also kept it kind of light.
The other thing too is like TV shows that had that type of stuff, like Supernatural.
Yeah,
absolutely love Supernatural.
That first season's hard to get through, though. Sometimes, like, it was a lot scarier than I anticipated. But then if you keep watching it, like, I like when they get to the Angels and Demons arc.
Oh my god, I loved that. That one. Then they pulled it a little too far, and then now it's kind of like back into the each episode is one thing, but with an underlining main story.
Yeah, like an arc.
They had one that was with Scooby-Doo, and they turned into cartoons.
I didn't see that one.
Oh my god, I loved it.
I heard about it, but I didn't see it.
It was really good because Dean kept trying to hit on Daphne.
Oh god.
And I was like, oh my god, I love this. This is putting two words. Zoinks. Like, gee, Scoobs.
I remember watching Scooby-Doo, but I don't think I watched it too much.
Those darn meddling kids.
Scrappy-Doo.
Yeah. It was always so fun. Well, because the other thing that I love about that episode with Supernatural was that they were trying to show that the Scooby-Doo characters didn't really believe in supernatural, because it was always a realtor or like a lawyer, with a mask. Right. So what they do is that they actually do find a TV show is that when they get sucked in, it's actually a spirit that's in there and actually like doing this stuff. So like the people were actually dying in the TV show, and the Scooby-Doo characters were like, "What? That's not real blood!" Like, and then they're like starting to get them to be like, "No, this is real," and then they're like freaking out, like Fred and all of them. They're like, "Oh my god, it's real!" Blah blah blah, like all this shit. Because like Shaggy falls out of the window and fucking breaks his arm. Like, they never break anything.
True.
And he's like, "Oh my god, it hurts so bad. Like, it's real." Like, they were like,
have to, like, watch that.
It's a really good one. And then at the end, they have to try and like tell them that, nope, you were right. Like, there isn't real ghosts.
So couple things that people need to look up. One is that fucking Fred
Savage dinosaurs.
You guys all need to also look up G.I. Joe pork chop sandwiches.
Pork chop sandwiches.
And then I personally, C-Lab 2021.
C-Lab, I feel like I've heard of that. Is that on Adult Swim?
It was Adult Swim at the time.
C-Lab, isn't that the one that they were like, "No, sex"?
I don't know. I'm trying to remember like what they were saying, but there was like that captain, and he was always just fucking weird.
Yeah,
I remember that a lot.
I think there's an episode, and he kept like walking in, and he'd be like, "Sex."
I think you're right. That one, and there was the
Meatwad.
Yeah, what is it called?
Aqua Teen
Force. Yes, that one was good too.
So, a question real fast, because we're talking about TV shows that we watched as children. I could not get over, like, I would watch anything on Nickelodeon except Ren and Stimpy. When they pulled shit out of their orifices.
Did you see the Tooth Fairy one?
No.
It was like a nerve.
Oh.
So he had to go to the dentist. All right, mind you, when they remade it, it was, I'm like, eh. But like the old school one, so they had this episode, again, one of those episodes, there was this Cinnamon Toast Man. Captain Toast, Cinnamon Toast Man.
He was like
powdered Toast Man. Or powdered toast. Shit. Something. Cinnamon powder. But they had this episode, and I think Stimpy was losing his teeth, or Ren might have been losing his teeth.
Oh my god, I think I've seen this one.
And like you see a beaver eating his like tooth nerve, and he like they're like showing like that's what it is.
Yeah.
But like his teeth are all rotted.
Yeah. They did that, and then they pulled earwax out of their ears, and it would be like a close up, and it's all like got fucking shit in it.
I feel like the same people who did that did SpongeBob, because SpongeBob had those moments on some of them. Like
maybe
when he's like, I don't need it. I don't need it. I need it. Like that kind of stuff. Well, like I felt like I mimicked it.
Did you ever watch Rocko's Modern Life?
I loved Rocko's Modern Life. I heard they were making it, and I haven't seen anything about it.
Oh my god, I loved him, and little like Spunky and Heifer and the fucking toads next door.
So I also talked to Mark about this too. The Critic. And
I loved The Critic.
Duckman.
I did not watch Duckman. The Critic And
Real Monsters.
Our Real Monsters.
I did this.
I actually was gonna do the same thing. Icarus.
Yeah.
I loved how his name was Icarus.
Yeah.
That was badass. So there was that, and then there was oh, I thought I heard something outside.
Oh no. See, this is why we're gonna have to end.
This is why we can't do this is why we can't have nice things.
Oh my god. It's okay. Real Monsters, it's fine.
I will totally take you home.
Oh my god, no.
I'll pick you up in the morning and get your car.
I'm gonna have to do major research and find some shit today for sure. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a whole thing. Oh my god, we should do our
scary movies.
Yeah, we should do like maybe our top, like, or whatever our number one movie is, and like deconstruct the shit out of it.
About scary movie?
It could be scary, but it could be like just like for me, I don't know. Goonies is one of my top because fucking Goonies is bomb. I love it.
Yeah. I watched it again and I was okay with it, but I mean, I feel like I have other movies that have talked to me in a different way.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my god, I could watch that all the time. Like Tommy Boy.
Oh.
So I lean more towards the comedies.
Richard, what's happening?
Fat guy. And my favorite is like, oh, I bet she dates one of the Yankees.
Is it Tommy Boy when he's like, it doesn't
over here or here.
We do that all the time.
We're right in
We're like
here.
right here, just not. Yeah.
So at work, I always am like,
I killed it.
I killed my pet. People are like, you're fucking weird. But I can quote that and Spaceballs. So just a little bit about me, guys, because everybody wants to know about me.
You quote so much stuff.
One, I quote a ton of movies,
Yeah.
and they're usually always comedy movies that are back in the 80s or 90s.
But sometimes it's so random when you do it. Like, you'll say it, and I'll be like, because I don't know where you're coming from, and then it takes me a second where I'm like, oh, where I wish I could banter with you, and because you'll just go off, and I'm like, and then you'll just keep going, which is hilarious.
But the other thing, too, is I'll say really funny quotes, and, like, no one gets it because they never watched the movies.
Yes!
And I'm like, it'd
You
be
do that
so
all the
funny if
time.
somebody actually knew what I was talking
You do it all
about.
the time.
But I had the biggest crushes when I was growing up on Adam Sandler and Jim Carrey.
Really?
Yep.
Oh my god.
I guess I fall.
Happy Gilmore. Not Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison.
Billy Madison was mine. He's like, suntan lotion is good for me. You're protected.
This could be our milk. No milk will ever be our milk.
He's like, damn it.
Oh.
Someone wants to burn me, but you won't let it.
Nudie magazine day. I see what's going on here. Excuse me.
It's so ridiculous.
He called
You
me
ain't
shit
cool.
poop.
You ain't cool unless you pee your pants.
Well, call me or consider me Miles Davis.
Gross.
Oh, Miss Veronica Vaughn and I got it on.
I can't. I'm trying to think of like the ones that I had a crush on, because obviously there was Spike from Buffy, but I'm like trying to think. Like, I don't know at that time.
I loved, like, literally I wanted to date Adam Sandler or
Dirty
Jim Carrey.
Dancing for me.
I actually never watched that. Ferris Bueller I watched a lot.
Ferris Bueller is a fucking good one. No, Dirty Dancing was when I was becoming old enough, and I'm like, what is happening in my body? I was watching Dirty Dancing, I'm like, what is happening? There's tingles. Like, it was great. Dirty Dancing was fantastic. And my sisters would make fun of me and make me keep watching it, and then make more fun of me about it, because I was young.
What are these tingles going on?
I'm a girl.
Romance comedies always made my belly tingle.
Did you? I
feel like I'm a Care Bear. Care Bear stare.
Did you ever watch, I don't know if you know this movie, but it was a movie about adults and they go back to camp. And it was like nostalgia, kind of like camp. But they're like adults.
All I can think of is the Fat Camp, where they would jump on the blob, and Ben Stiller is in it.
And now you say the Blob, and now I think fucking Matilda and the guy eating chocolate cake. That's where my head
Now
went.
the chocolate cake reminds me of Willy Wonka.
Augustus, go.
Augustus, stop drinking.
But that kid in Matilda was eating that chocolate cake, and I did this thing with my sister. So, because when he was eating, he's like, and like eating. So my sister used to do that with applesauce, and she'd shove it in my face, and so many times the spoon would hit my teeth. And then she'd
I
scream
hate when
at
things
me.
tink on my
Tink.
teeth.
Yeah, she's like, boom, and she'd shove it in your mouth. And then she also yelled at me because she would babysit me, and she'd yell, and she's like, "You want to go to sleep?" I'm like, "No, fuck no, want to go to sleep?" I'm like, "Yes." Scary, man. Fuck, man. Yeah, no, see, again, this is what happens. Like, you're this. I'm like, but that reminds me of this. And you're like, well, that fucking reminds me of this. And then the next thing we know, we're on a different fucking page.
That's when we talk 4 hours in a parking lot. Literally, we would sit and be like, oh, yeah, just one more. And we, like, talk for 4 hours.
3 a.m.
Her husband would be like, hey, when are you coming home? And you're like, 30 minutes. And then, like, 4 hours later, we're still in the same parking lot.
I swear he thought that we were, like, up to no good. But I'm like, no, we're literally sitting in a fucking Sonic's parking lot eating, like, we would buy 4 burgers at the time.
No, it wasn't burgers. I had the foot-long fucking chili cheese dog.
I got burgers.
Teeter tots.
Look at those little teeter tots. I would get, we would eat fucking a lot. And then we're so gross and we keep eating it. No, and then we would, like, stand out. So it started in the car, and then we'd be leaning on the car. But that's like...
And then we'd start dancing. I have a video of us dancing in the parking lot.
I know you do. You posted it. And that was, like, already, 5-6 years ago or longer? Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, because it was, I don't want to wait. That song came on. Dawson's Creek.
For our lives to be over.
No, but that's...
Which that was another good movie, or TV show.
Fuck, I like the meme of his ugly cry.
Yeah. You want to know what my favorite meme is?
Which one?
That one with that lizard that's going like this, and he's like...
I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
I'm going to show you.
Oh my god.
I'm going to write that down. I have so many things to show you.
This is how
I can show you the world.
This is how our memes go. Our talks go. No, but even like the parking lot talks, we should make that like our late night special parking lot or park talks, because we talk about everything in the car.
Parking lot talks is a great title.
It's kind of like the cab. What is that cab one that used to be on TV?
Where they used to drive and talk.
Cab. Fuck, I don't remember. It was like a cab thing, and like some people hooked up. Taxi night taxi confessions. Is that what it is? Cab confessions?
I've never even heard of that.
Oh,
that's
dude.
awesome. I watched the one where they would try and it was almost like before Uber, and they would get into a cab and then they would have like tests of like questions and stuff, and they would win money all the way to their destination.
You hit the button like boo 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 boo. Yeah. It's like, hey, it's the cash cab.
Yeah, cash cab.
Cash cab, but there's one called Cab Confessions or Taxi Confessions, and I think it was like on HBO late night. Because again, when I was younger,
we weren't supposed to watch it.
Cinemax turns into Skinemax after like 11 o'clock at night.
I never had that. We didn't have
Girl,
that.
I was nasty.
Dang it. I had to get mine on the intrawebs.
That's why I watched the show Undressed on MTV. Because I think that was about like sex and relationships. And I remember sneaking downstairs and watching that stuff. Because I'm like, I don't know.
I watched and read a lot. Like, I would read a lot of smut books when I was younger, too.
My mom would give me like the 50s. She would always have the old school, like, small fat smut ones where it's like a pirate steals a girl and then she's like, how dare you steal me, I don't know, a Southern Belle, and then
funny she doesn't look Jewish.
Insert Spaceballs here. But she would have those ones where it's like what's his name, long blonde hair,
Fabio,
so he was on the covers.
Yeah, so
she would read those, but like I had those around the house, so I would like read. I'm like, what is this? And then I wouldn't read the whole thing. You just go right.
Inserted his member into my
throbbing manhood. Yeah, throbbing manhood.
I love how they always call it throbbing
or quivering.
His hard men.
But I was reading that stuff when I was pretty young, and I was like, what?
We should have a segment.
Jackpot.
We should have a segment where we read horrific, just blurbs of romance ones.
I have a few at my house.
Let's do this! That was left-handed.
That was good.
I was really nervous. I was like, I'm gonna miss.
I know, I've done that. And then you're like, oh, well, you do it again. Yeah.
Gotta commit.
Alright, so we definitely have some stuff we want to do. I'd like to hear what you guys think that we should be doing, because clearly we're fucking, like, so excited about all the things. And this is kind of what we talk about all the time anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if there's something you guys want to hear, let us know. Preferably not too scary movies or scary stories, but
yeah, if you want us to watch a specific movie and
oh god,
you guys, it's up to you, and you guys tell us what we need to do. We'll totally try and do it as long as it's not illegal. Because there's one called The House on the Left.
No,
it's banned.
No.
It's banned from the U.S.
Yeah, no, it's horrible.
Yeah, I cried.
Yeah, that I
felt twisted. So I'd watch those weird like Charlie. What's that dude's?
Troy Manson.
Yeah.
I
felt like fucked up, and I felt like I needed to join it, or the 1,000 Ways to Die, or not 1,000 Ways to Die. Faces of Death.
No.
Don't watch it. I don't even know. Nobody. We're not watching it. I'm sorry.
I somehow got talked into seeing The Hills Have Eyes in the movie theater.
Oh, you said that. Did you say you walked out?
I didn't, but I wanted to. Like, that was the toughest movie I've ever had to see. There's also another one, Wrong Turn. It's always like hillbillies, like Deliverance. Yeah. It's always like hillbillies and make you squeeze like a pig, boy. Like, it's just like, it's rough to watch. It's rough.
There's some weird shit out there, but we'll like Hostel. I couldn't handle Hostel.
Oh, that was nothing.
Eyeball.
My sister was freaking out about that, and then I saw it, and I was like, "That's bullshit. Like, that's fine."
I can't do eyeballs. That's
the
thing.
And that was difficult with the foot. I'm like, "Ooh, I don't think I can do it." 27. I love New Girl, and I love how he references 127 days. Like, I get like lost. He gets his arm in her cleavage. He's like, I get lost in it. 127 days, Dale. Breaking his arm.
I fucking love New Girl.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure. So when I watch New Girl, I always am told that I'm just like Jessica.
Yeah.
And so I was like, no, I'm not. And there's this part where she's talking about her parents divorcing.
Yeah.
And she's like, Mommy's all right. Daddy's all right. She goes in this, and she's like tap dancing. So anytime I get into weird situations or I'm like not doing anything, I'm always like, da, 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 like
you Nick Miller out. or we both go, for no reason, like brain stops. But speaking of that, and like to end the show too, is like, so Nick Miller, I went and saw Tag.
Yep.
And I was really excited about it because he was going to be in it. And it's hard because you only see him one way, so it's kind of hard to see him
any other way.
But he was like a toker or something in there. The movie was alright, but like I feel like the last 20 minutes was pretty good because I saw that tag that said based on a true story. I was like, bull fucking shit. And they show you at the end of the movie like the guys that did that and them like dressing up all like crazy.
Yeah.
And I was like, nostalgia train, woot woot, because it was like I almost wanted to hit Mark and fucking haul ass down the parking lot. Tag your fucking it and go because when do you do that?
Yep.
It was kind of cool. I was like, huh.
Yeah, I heard it was really a good way that the guys.
Good way to rent it.
Yep.
Yeah.
A good way to rent it.
No.
But yeah, so we have way too much stuff that we talked about today. We tried to keep it towards TV shows and movies that we started to grow up.
We were still reeling each other back, and we're like, fuck it, nope. And like, come on more, and you're like, all right, no, we're going down this path anyway. This is how this normally happens. This is what makes 4 hours. This is why we're purposely not going to 4 hours, because this could go all night.
This literally can, and we apologize. So again, if you have anything for us to view or watch, or you would like us to talk about, I would also like to look into interviewing people. I know that there were a couple of people that reached out to me that wanted us to look into interviewing. If I figure out how to do that, or if you guys know how to do that and wanted to tell us, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Also, just a reminder, go to wordofthenerd.com. That's where all of your reviews and things about like comics, movies, and anything you can think of that's going on publicly in the geek world is on wordofthenerd.com. Also, 10% off at shadart.biz on all of his paintings that are on there. So go ahead and take a look at that. Anything else that you wanted to shout out to? Nope. She's just laughing.
Nope.
She literally says nope every single time I talk to her.
She's like, do you want to say anything?
Nope. I'm literally going to make merchandise that just says nope. And always remember,